Hey gang, today we're going to learn about the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagoras was a very famous ancient mathematician, probably just as famous as Euclid, and he devised the Pythagorean theorem. And what it says is that any right triangle, we could figure out any sides as long as we had two of the sides. Well, we have to learn some vocabulary first. All right? So the couple words we need is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side, and it's always across from the right angle. We know this triangle is a right angle because of this square, and that means it's a right triangle. So this is the hypotenuse. All right, and that is the longest side, again, because it's right across from the right triangle, from the right angle of the triangle. So the other two sides have names as well. So this is called a leg, and I'm going to name it leg 1, and this is a leg, and we're going to name it leg 2. So Euclid's formula is rather simple and straightforward. He says that leg 1 squared plus leg 2 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. Well, that's a lot of writing if we want to keep trying to do it over and over again. So in the book, it gives you A, B, and C. So leg 1 is A, leg 2 is B, and the hypotenuse is C. Simple enough. And our new formula is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Notice the leg 1, A squared, we get it from here. B squared is leg 2, and C squared is our hypotenuse squared, both squared. Now in the book, it has this, it has C squared equals A squared plus B squared. And that's okay because we know if something equals something else, the equal sign, we can flip these and that's not a problem because C squared still equals A squared plus B squared. So that's not a problem right there. So let's put this in practical use. Let's go ahead and put out some sort of numbers here. So let's pick some numbers, and you still have that on the screen so you can refer back to it. Real quickly, this is A squared A, this is B, this side is C. C is the hypotenuse. It's always the hypotenuse. These guys here, A and B, we can flip-flop them because they're just legs, but the C is always the hypotenuse, always the longest side because it's directly across from the right angle of our triangle. So let's put some numbers in here. Let's say we have this side is 3 units and this side is 4 units. So what would that look like? Well, we're going to use our formula up here. So our A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. We don't know what that is yet. So we have 9 plus 16 equals C squared. And add those two together, we have 25 equals C squared. Are we finished? No, we're not, because we have C squared and we just don't have C. So when we try to cancel out a square, all right, all we have to do is square root it, and it cancels it out. It's like 1 over 1 is 1, or 2 over 2 is 1. It's the same thing. So if we square root these two, what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. This square root, remember we talked about the squares and it's like multiplication, so, but these guys will cancel out. So that leaves us just with C. And this is a perfect square. Hopefully you remember that from last time. So it's 5 is our answer. Would be 5 units for C. All right. So I hope this was good for you, that you can see this and see how we did it and how we laid it out. I have another video coming up about reversing it and finding for one of the legs when we have C. Okay? I'll talk to you later.